Hey guys, what's going on? Wi-Fi1225 for another video, and today I'm going to talk about Verdun. So Verdun's a game I picked up about a week ago. It is early access on Steam right now. It's really cool. It's a World War I shooter, and that's really the primary reason I got it. So it is early access, like I said, so I'm just going to be doing an early access review, so I'm not going to give it a score or anything, because that would be unfair, because the game still is in development. But I'm just going to tell you guys about how I feel and whether or not it's worth picking up right now, as it is, and then I'm going to tell you guys what I want to see in the release, which is even more important than that. So like I said before, Verdun is a World War I shooter, which is really cool because it's something we don't see. You know, we see a lot of modern era shooters, but World War II and World War I games are something that's really left out. And, you know, World War II games used to be huge, but they're not anymore. Rising Storm is something I play a lot, and it's one of my favorite games. So when I saw this, I definitely thought I'd jump on it and buy it, because I've honestly never seen a World War I shooter before. So everything is really historically accurate from what I can tell. All the guns are completely realistic to what they were in the time period, and all the game modes work really well. They make for actual trench warfare. We'll talk about that later. And the maps and everything are designed perfectly to fit in with the countryside of where the fighting actually took place. So it really does have a World War I feel. The music, even in the menu, has a World War I feel. So it really is true to the setting. You can tell the guys actually really do care about the history, which is kind of a cool thing to see. Let's just talk about the gameplay, which is probably the most important thing, because this is a multiplayer only game. There is no story or anything. So the gameplay is really mostly made up of one-shot rifles. There are a couple automatic rifles with extremely slow rates of fire. They really don't feel overpowered. Actually, nothing this game does. It's a really well-balanced game, which is kind of surprising because there is like gas in the game, there are mortar strikes, and it would be easy to be unbalanced, especially when a lot of people just have one-shot rifles. But the game ends up being really balanced. The gas isn't overpowering, especially because you can put a gas mask on. So everything is really well balanced, and it's one of the most balanced games I've seen, which is pretty impressive. Now, a lot of the gameplay, like I said, is with one-shot rifles, so it's a lot slower, as you can imagine. The time to kill is extremely low. I've never shot someone and not had them die. I'm sure if you shot them in the foot, they wouldn't die, but it's pretty much a one-shot kill with any weapon, except the automatic weapons, which I believe take maybe 2 or so. But you do die really quickly in this game, and you will die in this game. But it's something I really like about you know, Rising Storm and the realistic shooters. The really fast time to kill is really cool, because it makes not only more realistic, but I really like the slow gameplay where you actually have to think about what you're doing and what your next move is and stuff like that. On top of the really solid gameplay, the game also has some really cool game modes. Actually, I should say a really good game mode. It has 2. It has an attack and defend one, which is my favorite, and it has just a deathmatch. I've actually never tried, but almost no one is ever playing it. This game really is all about that attack and defend, and I'm going to talk about that right now. So the game mode really does mimic trench warfare. So one team will start in a trench, and the other will start in a trench, and one team will have to attack, and they'll either claim that trench that they're attacking, or they'll lose it. If they lose it, they'll have to fall back to their trench, and it's the other team's turn to attack and try to take theirs. But if they do claim it, then the other team gets pushed back, and they have to attack the trench that they were defending to try to take it back. So it's kind of almost like each team is trying to push the other team back on the map, and it ends up making really just trench warfare. The boundaries are really strict. You pretty much have to stay in the trenches, and it really does mimic a big World War I battle, which is really cool. It's one of the best game modes I've seen in a while. I'd say, you know, one of the best on top of like Hotwire and Battlefield 4 that I've been playing a lot, but it really does work perfectly with the game in a way that's really impressive and really nice to see. So overall, guys, the gameplay in this game is really great. It's definitely the best part of the game. Now, it does come with 5 maps, and they're all different but pretty realistic. You know, they're not in like cities or anything like that. They're all in the countryside. None of them are like have anything really special about them, but they're different enough to give you a bit of a variation, so they don't all feel the same. Trenches are a really big part of the maps, as you guys could guess. The only thing I don't like is that the boundaries are really strict on the maps, and sometimes they tell you really too late before like you can turn around. They'll give you 2 seconds and you'll be dead because you left the battle. So the boundaries are really strict, and I think they need to at least give you a solid 10 seconds to get back, because sometimes I ended up dying just because I couldn't get back to the trench soon enough when I left, and I didn't realize it was out of the combat area. So now that I've gone into what I really love about this game, let me go into what I really don't like that much and what I think should be improved before launch, which is April 28th. So the team play really isn't there. For a game that focuses on being realistic, it really doesn't have the team play something like Rising Storm or Red Orchestra 2 had. it just is pretty much every man for themselves. They're working together, but there really is no teamwork. Squad leaders really don't put objectives down, and it really kind of feels like you're on a team, almost like in Call of Duty. It's not like you're working together in some other more tactical games. I think they could fix this by adding like bonuses for setting objective for squad leaders and something like that, some sort of reward that encourages more squad gameplay. Now, it is still kind of buggy, it is beta, but especially when you die, your body usually like jerks around. When you die, sometimes the camera does weird stuff. Just some couple things they need to work on and nail down those bugs. But other than that, the animations feel a little rough. I would love to see them a little bit more smoother, especially like the laying down and stuff doesn't feel completely there. I'd want them to work on that a little bit more. Other than that, the progression system and the squad system is hard to understand. The progression system is kind of hard. You do unlock guns as you go, but there's so many like classes and so many different types of squads. It gets kind of lost, and there's no really good way to explain it in the menu system or anything like that. So I would love to see them rework the UI and get like a good, solid like information page where you could see your progress and stuff like that. And other than that, I think the game just needs a little bit of a UI update, some like cooler text and stuff like that, because it looks kind of plain right now. But overall, guys, I do really like it as it is. I definitely am glad I bought it. I would tell you to hold off till the actual release unless you're really invested in buying a shooter right now. And in that case, I probably would recommend Verdun because I'm having a lot of fun with it. I definitely plan on playing it more in the future. But I do think it needs a little bit more work before launch. Hopefully, they'll get that in by April 28th. I would tell the devs not to be afraid to delay it if they need to make it really a good finished product. But other than that, guys, I definitely do recommend Verdun. Like I said, I would definitely recommend holding off an extra like 15 days or so till the launch, unless you're really excited about it, and then you could grab it now. Or if you're planning to buy it, there's no harm in grabbing it now, because I think it might actually go up in price at launch. I'm not sure, but it's definitely possible. So if you're really excited, might as well grab it now and play a little bit before the actual launch. But I'll definitely be doing a full review when the game comes out, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.